This is an 1100 play money tournament. So I'm going to try to put my opponents on cards because the math in play money and real money is the same. You know, it doesn't change. You know, royal flush is the same value. And right now, I believe I go by the moniker Any Cheat Man 1 because I believe they use brain computer interface against my other opponents to make it so we lose. So this is why I do the play money. But you'll see based on my skill, like I'll be able to put people on hands. So I'll try 4 times. If I'm right the first time, like, you know, I'll make 3 guesses most of the time, 2-3 guesses. And if my first guess is right, I won the challenge. If my second guess is right, I would need to have 2 second guesses that were right for 2 different hands to win the challenge, or 4 correct third guesses to win the challenge. And then I'll also I'll think who's going to be the winner for a hand based on how they play it. That's a little easier, that one. So let's see. And it's not right. This tournament's like 6-handed, so it's kind of like the way to. I like 6-handed tournaments. You get to be active, fairly active, because the odds of winning 6-handed is 16.67%. Right. So if you're about 30% or winning 30% of the hands, then you're doing pretty good. So they might have the straight here, and then I didn't improve, so I'm gonna fold. It's unlikely for them to show it. Okay, so that guy that just raised has been pretty aggressive. He's been making some moves like that. So let's see what the rest of the table does. Are they going to check it down? They shouldn't have bet that one. Because they probably have the winning hand, right? So they would have been able to get Fish Whisperer if they, you know, so they had the winning hand, right? So by checking, they would have allowed the Fish Whisperer to bet, and then they could have punched them with all in. Like if the guys, or if the person's betting the street before, right? They're the leader, they're the aggressor. See if they're like, you make a big hand, see if they're still the aggressor. Give them a chance to bluff off their chips to you. How about this, guys? How about this, folks? Big call, big call. Are they going all in again? They got the 10, I think. They had the 10. So far I'm 2 for 2. I put them on the winning hand last hand, and I put them on the 10 this hand. He's a smooth, decisive player. I can't just start singing songs because then it copyrights. You mean smarter, Chris? You can't be using your comedic or creative ways because copyright? Fucking right, I do. Here we go. This guy likes this play. This is a terrible river. Okay, I don't think he has the queen. I don't know what he has, but I'm calling. He doesn't have the king. Wow. So he didn't bet, so I'm gonna just pressure him. He's 10 now. So it's a chop pot. Nobody has the speed. So Fish Whisperer his move seems to be when he has nothing, he's like, I'm gonna bet. When I have something, I'm gonna check. The Fish Whisperer's saying to me. There we go, there's a big bet. Nice call. Here we go. There's the big bet, but nothing probably. How's it going?
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
You sleep good?
Yeah, I slept pretty good. You know, I woke up for a while and then I managed to fall back to sleep. So.
Oh, that's good.
No, Raider Boys has quite a few chips. I'm hoping to improve. I didn't improve. So he most likely has the 10. No, he doesn't. If he would have bet, he would have had the 10.
No, change is get me to thrown in the garbage. Just change.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll throw that in the garbage when I'm done.
Yeah, they were fighting downstairs this morning at 7 o'clock this morning.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
They're not morning people?
I guess not.
So smart, Chris. Why do you lose if you can always put opponents on hand? Well, guys, you know it's there's math to poker, but it is also the rig. Me, most of your videos, like 95% of the time, you put your money in with the best hand and still lose. That's why I make these videos, guys. To paint the compelling case. Most of the Raider boys isn't doing too well. He's lost 3K since he came to the stable. I guess so, playing King 9. Hopefully that keeps him in line now. He's going to go all in. He went all in. Okay, I don't think he has it, so I'm going to call. Jack 3, so he needs 3 3s in the deck. Now, 4 5s, 3 3s. Out of 44 cards, he has 39 are good for me. Well, I guess it would have been more than that. It would have been 37. Very good for me. He would have had more outs, pardon me. He would have had 7 outs, not 5 outs. Because I was showing 2 cards, he was showing 2 cards, the board was showing 4 cards, so 52 minus 8 is 44. Then he had the 4 5s and the 3 3s, so the 7 outs. So 44 minus 7 is 37 outs that I had. Like, obviously, why when you have 37 outs, you well, I didn't have that many outs, but I had 37 cards that were good for me. I only had to worry about 7 cards because he had 7 outs. Usually that's how it is when you're the favorite, right? It's just however many, like you figure out how many cards are remaining, how many outs your opponent has, and then if you're the favorite, you get the remaining cards as your outs, so to speak, because any one of those remaining cards, you win. Like, see, I won. I didn't even need to make a pair, and I won, right? So it's not like I had three outs for my jack, or pardon me, my king. Because I was already ahead of him, right? So he needed to make the pair. I didn't have the pressure to make the pair. Because my high card was higher than his high card. So you just figure out outs, and then probability. Well, that's the probability rate of you hitting your hand, and then pot odds is you want to make sure that if the probability of you winning is 1 in 3, you want to make sure you're not calling probabilities of like say like 1 in 2, 1 in 1, like a pot size bet, because then you're making bad math odds at that point. Because for you to hit your hand, you're only going to hit your hand 1 time out of 3, right? So you wouldn't want to call a pot size bet, because that means you have to be right 100% of the time, but you're only going to be right 33% of the time. So statistically, you're going to be losing 66.6% of the time.
How's it going?
Not too bad, you?
Not too bad. Dad went album shopping.
Oh, nice.
The Mac Miller album.
Oh, cool.
And then my dad found this.
Okay, a bunch of old school wrestlers.
Yeah, it's an old school wrestling video game poster.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah, and my dad, it was like $20.
that's all right.
That's all my dad buying a hockey autograph, Terry Seagun.
Okay.
And he got his autograph for like, it was $50.
Well, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so good day.
Okay, so I see the connector here. Let's see what I could do with it. You know, they need to kind of improve. Usually, you want to play these hands if you could get into the pot cheap with them. But as you can see, they don't. They can improve. You know, because you can make the straight or the flush pre-flop, right? But as soon as the flop comes, like as you can see, pretty much goes out the window, right? Because I would have a gut shot and those odds that he just give me based on the probability of getting a gut shot is really low, right? There's only 4 cards in the deck to make sure that I had a strong hand. So even though I would have had more outs than that, I would have had 10 outs. Only 4 of the outs I would have been confident with. So really, that was my odds, was 4 cards out of 47, and then 43 cards were, well, 10 cards out of 47, but so 37 cards would be bad for me, but 6 cards might be bad. They might give me false hope, like I might make the pair and then still lose, but with the 4 outs, I have a good chance of winning, but I could chop, right, with that particular board, right, so it's not even worth it based on that. Like, you never really want to chase your gut shot, like, unless everybody's checking around. Or if you're leading, like, you know, if I want to go chase my gut shot, I'll be the aggressor. So I'm only willing to lose as much as I'm willing to bet. That's pretty much how I approach straights and flushes and gut shots. Is usually only if I have like a pair or 2 pair, and or sometimes I'll just bet it out, like just chase, like if I think I might hit at this time, at a certain time I might play it, but I'm still making long-term decisions, but you know, sometimes you do play the rush to see if if I haven't had a straight in the it seems like 6 years, then I'll probably go for it, right? If I'm overdue for it. You know, if I'm playing for like several hours and I haven't had a straight all day, then I might think I'm due for a straight. So I'm currently 7th out of 49 remaining, 48 remaining. So I'll still try to put them on more cards, and because I do my skill, and this is part of the Why Am I Not Staked series for the Poker Hero. Well, there's Guitar Heroes, right? Why can't Crisco be a Poker Hero? I think I can, guys. Practice. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now, like, really, I only have the 9 flush outs. Like, I made a pair. My bottom card, like, chances are wouldn't be the highest pair, and the top one might not be the highest pair, even though there's only 1 overcard. So it could be, actually. It could be. So I'm gonna lead out a little bit. And hoping to improve. That was Shitackler. Okay, so now I gotta finish off with just like I made it. You know, that's pretty much what you gotta do sometimes, right? Like, you know, I started betting like I was the aggressor. So my opponents probably put me like, okay, you might have something this time. And then I missed my hand, which was unfortunate, but I have to pretend that I hit my hand to win the hand at that point, right? I had no chance of winning virtually, so I had to increase my odds of winning by making a bet. So that particular bet amount, like when you bet, sometimes you're betting for them to call, sometimes you're betting for them to raise or fold, right? I was betting for them to fold at that point. So there's already lots in the pot, so I'm going to put maximum pressure. Maximum pressure. So the maximum pressure move, the manhandler. When I make that move against the guys, I call it the manhandler. And women, I call it poker dancing. Got to use that manhandler on the guys sometimes because we're naturally aggressive. So you got to intimidate them. So you could do that by showing them if you make a call with high card and you're right, that's a good way to intimidate your opponent. Usually they're pretty afraid at that point. I know I am. Like I'm nervous of an opponent. Like if all of a sudden, like, you know, I'm making my move, and then they snap call with jack high and they're right. It's like, okay, well that opponent's more dangerous, right? So at first, if I got caught bluffing against the opponent, I was like, okay, they're good. I'm not gonna bluff against them. I'll bluff against other people. But now I'm so experienced. I'm like, maybe it was luck. I'm gonna bluff them again, just to make sure it wasn't luck that time. Because sometimes it is, right? They only call because the hand they have, where if they didn't have that hand, they would fold, right? So once you see that, then at that point, you know you could possibly bluff them. In a similar situation, but slightly different. The same situation, but when they miss. Because, like, don't be playing poker like you're the bluff police. Right, like that. You're the table sheriff and you have to catch every bluff. You know, sometimes if I'm playing heads up against an opponent, I give them the false sense of security of bluffing against me. I let them be like, yeah, he's so easy to bluff. He's so easy to bluff. Fucking right, he's easy to bluff. Right, I get them to think that way, and then I start punishing them for it. Because while I'm doing it, I'm getting them to slightly increase how much they're risking to try to bluff against me. So at first it's like weak little bluffs, but I just don't have cards. And I don't feel like going all in. So I'm like, I'll fold. And then once it feels the same way, the same type of move, it's like, okay. After a while, it's like I gotta call them. Sooner or later, I have to call them. And so you do. But you wait till they're confident. Till they think you're the biggest fish on the planet. You're the easiest to bluff. And then then you just punish them. Basically, as soon as you have a hand, it's like you dodge the punch, and then you counter punch them back. I didn't think I'd be able to, I thought he might call if I bluffed on the turn, and he might fold if I bluffed on that river, should he miss his hand. It didn't feel like he had any in the pot there, but wanted to see the river. There's a lot of opponents that are like that, that want to just see the river, then you could bluff them out of the pot once they see the river, because once they see the river, they can't get lucky anymore, right? So they assume that you have a hand. Most of the time you do, right? Most of the time I have something, right? Like I know most of the time I don't have zero. Like I have a weak hand usually, but not absolutely. This is like more like a semi bluff most of the time, right? Because I play lots of cards, so I have random cards for the flop, right? Okay, so fish whisper is gone. That's right. Okay, I want to see one more card. I don't really believe my opponent. It's not based on hand strength that I'm going to be making this call. I'm just going to try to win the pot at some point, should the situation present itself. Ideally with a king or an ace or the spade. Okay, there we go. Here's something to start it. Nice call. Do I get lucky? Nice. See, that was a scenario there where he made the call, and I'm like, nice call. And like, my knees were like just shaking, like my bones would have been rattling. Like if you could have heard me probably, but it's like, oh, okay, I have no chance of winning. Am I gonna get lucky? Shit, I didn't get lucky, but I really want to win this hand. Does Myth Crisco have a skill, like a tool in his tool belt to win this hand? Fucking right, I did. I went with the all-in move. Whoever invented the all-in for Texas Hold'em poker was a genius. And the blinds, and the small blind and the big blind, because if not, there would be no action, right? People just wait for the best cards. Right, if there's no blinds, people just sit there and be like, fold, fold, fold. Okay, I got aces, I'll play. But with the blind, it forces you to have to defend your blind to protect your money. Right, especially six-handed, right? You only get to see four hands for free. Well, this is 5-handed, right? Or 4-handed, right? So you get 3 hands for free. So you're invested 2 hands out of 5. So that means you have to protect them, especially in tournaments. But even in cash games, you gotta protect your blinds. Like you routinely have to defend your blinds and try to steal other people's blinds, depending on when they're not paying attention, right? If they look like they're you're watching like the whole time you're playing in the tournament, you're watching like especially now that going like starting at this point in the tournament going forward, because the blinds are getting a little bit more expensive, right? So you got to find out now who's going to defend their blinds and who steals blinds, right? So if they steal blinds, you got to punish them, and if they don't defend their blinds, you got to punish them. But if they defend their blinds, then you can't always. Just because they defend their blinds doesn't mean like if you rarely do it, then you're probably going to slip one through, right? But if you're constantly doing it, then they're going to be constantly defending it, right? But if you're not really, if you're making very few cracks at their blinds, then they may not see you as a threat. But if you're doing it every rotation, right? Like in a big tournament, like near the end of a tournament, you should be trying to steal the blinds at least once per revolution, if you can. If not, every second revolution or every third revolution, like constantly. Though you're constantly like, how can I steal blinds? How can I steal blinds? Like when's a good opportunity? Like, is this a chance right now? Like, I have ace-8, and even though like I'm kind of later position, like, should I go for it now, make a stiff raise, and try to steal the blinds? And sometimes you have to, right? Sometimes with nothing. The situation's like, hey, I'm on the button, and I haven't been active for a while, like, so my opponent should give me credit to his strong hand, and so I'm going to make a move and try to steal the blinds. And because if you steal the blinds and you pay the blinds for that revolution, right, you saved yourself some money, right? So you want to try to save yourself money by stealing blinds and winning pots that nobody wants to win. Like where if they're checking and there's very little betting, right? Nobody wants that pot, so it's like I'm like, I want that pot, so I'm gonna fight for that pot now. Nobody's fighting for it. I'm gonna fight for it. You can't do that all the time because then you become predictable, but often enough, right? As often as my opponents allow me to get away with. Wow, that's a nice bet. I have to call though, but that's a nice bet. He probably already has the straight, unfortunately, but it could be an ace-7 as well. Ace-5. Good luck me. And he hit the 3. Every time. I told you, like, I'm the favorite, and they always get lucky, right? Every time. Fucking losers. They suck at poker, man. Play slots. Go play slots, you fucking loser. Call straight. You fucking chips, you fucking. Straight draw. He had an open-ended straight draw. He had 8 cards when he made that decision. He had exactly 14 outs out of 47 cards. So that means he's only going to win one time out of about 3. He's going to lose twice. And he's like, I'm going to go all in. And then the poker losers that made him win are like, hey, let's reward poor play again. That player has a better chance at like winning bingo than winning a tournament. I bet you they never won a tournament. I bet you with over 100 opponents, or say 1,000 opponents, they'd never won an opponent like with over 1,000 opponents. That'd be suspicious. That'd be suspicious, right? Because if you're always calling when you're on the wrong side of the math, right? He was a 2 to 3 underdog when he went all in. He was 2 to 3 underdog. And it's just pretty suspicious, right? Because I had the over pair, so this app always seems to punish me with overpairs in good hands and rewards poor players. They're trying to make me a poor player, almost guaranteed, by never rewarding my good play. I have to play poorly. I'll try that at one point. I'll make a poor decision, and let's see if I get fucking rewarded on this app, this loser app. That's exactly what they're trying to do. So, turning off those systems. Fucking bingo players playing poker. That was pretty shitty. Like, you watch me play, it's skill. I have a skill game, and then you got bingo players that like to win go all in and sit out. And here's the people that cause that.
That's the bad end, eh?
No, it's a little colder than yesterday, though. I guess I just won a tournament the other day, right? So they don't want me to win again. Fucking losers. There used to be this promotion for Score, the sports channel, and they would have a tournament with some like 320 or 350 opponents that you would play, and then if you won, you got entered into a draw, and I won that every day, every single day for that promotion. My first or second attempt. No, I ended up winning that. Nice. Fucking bingo players. Chasing their streets and flushes.
And that was after getting him out of jail. That was after putting money in his account for months and months and months. That was after me driving up to the jail to visit him almost every weekend. Anything you want for your son, right? Like anything you want to point out. I go, yeah, I need it. Tell Christian, Bentley, Justin said he felt like a slave helping me around here.
I was
But
there.
that was, no, you didn't hear what I said in here.
No.
That was after the 6 months we spent going up there to visit him every
Yeah.
weekend. And that was
Planning
after
for it.
6 months putting money in his account, 6 months of accepting collect calls, and he felt like a slave doing a little bit back. He couldn't even come close to what he owed me, right? Well, he owes me thousands, really.
pot to win. Just 2 2s, 44 cards. 42 are good for me. I didn't want to see another card I thought I might get rivered, so I wanted to make it very expensive for them to see it. So now I'm chip leader out of 19 remaining. Okay, probably has the 9, so I'm gonna fold. He could have the queen, but he probably had the 9. That's when he showed interest. So I'm gonna steal the blinds there, but it backfired. The 6s have 10 outs now. So how many opponents were in this tournament anyways, in case I do win? 102 opponents and top 20 finishing the money. Okay, so I'm in the money now, which is good. Now's a great time since I'm second in chips. If I didn't really feel like playing, I could blind off and I'd probably still finish like about 4th or 5th. So it's kind of risky playing another hand at this point. The whole point of playing is to win, right? So, but if this was real money, right, like you might want to consider blinding off at that point, or playing really almost like you're blinding off, where you're folding lots and just playing really tight, stealing occasional blinds and. Tiger Tom likes to call. This is the first time I've seen him bet. I want to see one more card. Let's hope to improve, get more outs. Come on, clubs. Unlucky that I didn't hit my hand. I haven't hit a hand yet. All my decisions have been made after the fact where I bluffed. Okay, so I'm just going to pause this while it's on break. Okay, so the tournament is back from break. It's been back for a little while. I thought I resumed recording and I was talking to myself for a couple minutes. And I won a hand and it's 6 hand today, so I guess there's 3 tables left now. But good thing I got lots of chips, so I could pretty much play every hand right now if they don't raise it too much pre-flop. which is a good situation to be in, rather than just waiting for a good hand. So what's the short stack gonna do?
Winter mostly done.
Yeah, another day, 1 day closer, eh?
Yeah.
It's 1 day closer to spring. When you're in Canada in February, that's what you're kind of looking forward to, is spring. You have to put on your, well, people put on their boots, and then extra layers of clothing, their big heavy jacket. So once spring comes, right, like you're wearing running shoes, you're like about 20 pounds lighter because you're wearing less clothes, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And the best day of the year is, it's usually a Friday, when you're just sitting there at the lights, and then all of a sudden you hear music from cars because people have their window open. It's like, oh wow, yeah, it's Friday, people listen to music, it's sunny, spring is here, fucking right. Thought curse word for the poker genre is alright. It is for people over 18. His pocket aces, busted flush draw. I have a position over the razor, and they're under the gun, so they should have a decent hand, but I want to see a flop with my hand. And then proceed from there, like, only if it's cheap. Because this hand is disappointing, but it leads to a royal flush, right? So you do have to try to see them out sometimes. Did he come in with the raise? No raise. Does he have ace 10? Does he have ace 10? What does he do? He could have ace 10, so I'm going to call. Nice bet. Nice bet. I'm going to fold, though, because I have a bad feeling about this one with the ace 10. So I'm going to fold. That was a nice bet. I would have called 7,000. Yeah, the last hand I had the guy on in the ace, and so when the 10 came, or when the queen came, it's like, oh, he probably has ace 10. Another big bet. Here's he did it twice in a row, right? So he could have had back-to-back hands, but it could have been a situation where I'm now giving them a false sense of confidence in bluffing. So I'm gonna punish them. Almost down to the final two tables. I really wanted to call with the two pair there, but I think he had the straight based on how they've been playing. Or they could have had king queen as well, right? So nice play by this guy. What is Mr. Big Stack doing? They're in a great position. They could manhandle the table pretty good. Ace King versus 5-7. No, he might win with the heart flush or the straight. I hope he does. Just because there would have been one less opponent, but it's not too bad because even less chips for the big guy. So that was kind of a win-win either way. Either one less opponent or the big stack took a big hit. So obviously you need to improve with this type of hand. Fucking losers. This I wasn't even close. Not even fucking hope on that flop. Not even a gut shot. You know your fucking odds are bad when you don't even have a gut shot. Not even close to a straight or a flush. Typically I would raise here, but big stack's been calling with 5-7, so whatever I raise they're gonna call with, so I'm gonna just hold. Okay, now let's see if I can put them on cards. It should be easier now at this point. Yes, a big stack sure came down quite a bit.
Nice that, not windy.
Yeah, it's not too bad, yeah.
I mean, there's a slight wind, I guess.
I don't even have enough to really make a stab at the pot here. Final two tables, so I guess I gotta go for it. Like me, it should be a favorite. Pre-flop anyways. So I'm a favorite. Will I get unlucky again? Hard to get unlucky now. You want some of this?
Oh, thanks, hon.
I needed that. That was an extension of chips. It was the first time I was able to steal the blinds. I think I win. No, he had the 4. I was trying to steal the blinds there, and he got a lucky 4-8. So I'm surprised why they're keeping it like 3 or 4 tables. There should only be 2 tables left. We should have a full table. It's kind of nice when you're, especially in a real money poker tournament, when you're down to the final table. What you could do is, especially if it's 9-handed, you're down to the last 2 tables. When it's 9-handed, you open up their table and you start watching their table too. So you're getting tells on your future opponents. So then when you sit down with them, ideally they know nothing about you, but you have several reads on them. I used to try to do that in the past, but wasn't really too successful based on my skill level at that point, but I do better now. You know, I'm a much better player now, even though I did win tournaments a couple of years ago. Like I'm just better. You know, the more you practice, right, the better you get. This guy doesn't know the bluffer guy. And this guy was after me, right? So even if I thought this guy was bluffing, I had to worry about this guy, right? Unfortunately. Oh, I thought it was 9th place left. Out of 9. 9 out of 9. But I'm 5th. How about this, guys? Jam. Nice. I'm glad I hit that one after how they bet it. I was nervous going all in. I went all in twice when could have been busted, which is abnormal for me playing poker. Usually when I go all in, I'm the big guy. Because except for the last hand, and if I'm short stacked, right, then at that point that's then I might have to go all in. Lucky me. Oh, you hit the jack. Oh, one king or 10. Nice. I forgot about the eat. I'm raising regardless what this guy does or not, unless he folds. Regardless. Especially if he just casually calls, like if he takes that much time and he just barely calls, I'm raising 100% of the time with that many chips. Unless it was in a real tournament, because I've said this on now non-film, right? So in the future I wouldn't. But in the past, 100% of the time, I would have raised. You know, they take that long to call. That means like, hey, they're just trying to stretch out. They're trying to survive as long as possible, right? They're gonna use maximum probably for the rest of the tournament. That's good strategy. So he's big blind now, so he's likely to fold no matter what to a raise. Well, the next guy, this guy, he's likely to call or raise or something, but the other guy's likely to fold. But he might go all in. Oh, I called. Nice. 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 What's fool for cards? What does he do? So I'm hoping to improve. If he would have made so the earlier on in the tournament when he made those two moves, he likely had the hand both times because he had an opportunity to make the move that time. Then I would have called him, but I wouldn't have liked it, but I would have called and taken the chance. Like if I was wrong, I would still would have 10,000 chips, but if not, I busted a pretty good opponent and would have considerably more, right? Would have 60,000 chips at that point. So now it's final table. Final table action. I'm probably the favorite, so just want to evaluate. Nice hand. I wanted to put maximum pressure on them to make it so they had to risk the entire tournament on that decision. Whatever you can do with chip leader, as chip leader, right? You got to. Well, in some ways, it's easy to play short stack poker, and it's easy to play as a chip leader because you can speculate more. You could throw out minimum bet, especially at this point in the tournament. It's pretty steep for some opponents. Right, it's 1,200 minimum bet, right? So like there's going to be a couple thousand chips in there pre-flop. They're by the time you see the flop, right? So then minimum bet is kind of weak, right? So you pretty much almost always want to call a minimum bet because if you can afford it, because it's a weak bet. So you're not really betting to protect at that point. You're betting for them to call. But you could give your opponents a chance. Like you could allow your opponents to river you, basically. Like that's why you'd want a bigger bet, like a half-size pot or a pot-size bet is on this app basically because you can't control like this easily the chips. Like I can't just be like, okay, I want to bet 9999. Because when you bet 9999, you would see a big stack of chips. Like not on this app, but at some apps you would see a big stack of chips, right? So then you would it looks like you bet a massive amount, but really you didn't bet that much. You just made it an odd number. But psychology to people, it makes it seem like it's such a massive amount. Okay, I got 32K, so I'm actually going to fold. I did want to call. But, I think when they're betting, they usually hatch at this point based on how much time we've spent together. They're in the same position, too, as last time. It would have been nice if they were on my left. Okay, why is this guy taking so long? There's no other table now to make people. It's one thing when there's more tables and you could outlast people by taking a long time when you're short stack. But when you're on the last table, right, like you gotta ditch that strategy now and try to make fast decisions because him taking a long time now, he's big blind next time. So if he would have taken too long, maybe the blinds would have went up and it would have been more expensive for him. So it would have been detrimental to his cause. You gotta remember, McChrystal always has the strategy. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this. So it's pretty much anybody's game at this point. This guy needs to win this hand. And this opponent might pressure them with a 2,000 chip bet. This guy probably would have bet if he would have bet on the flop that time with the 2,000 chip bet, because this guy didn't really have too many outs on the flop. Right, so he liked the 9, but he definitely needed that now. So I wonder if he's going to outlast this opponent. This guy could end up winning. That's how Texas Hold'em poker goes, right? Like, I like this guy's odds so far. Let's see what this guy does, though. I'll let you know who I think the winner is going to be. I think Fool wins. So he's right. Okay, so he came right back. That's Texas Hold'em poker. That's why really you just have to try to win one hand at a time. Okay, so this guy was oh no, this guy's big blind. Okay, what up? Because this guy's been pretty quiet. Now this guy raised under the gun, so I'm gonna fold and let because this guy's likely to go all in at some point because he's so short stacked. See who wins based on skill. Oh, he folded. Wow. He just punted the tournament away. He knows he might be able to recover. I'm hoping he folds. Even though I'm probably the favorite. But I was hoping to win a big pot, because that guy can only win the 4,000. So I was hoping to win the 2,400 off, win the blinds and everything without seeing this guy wasn't in, right? Like, I was hoping to win a pre-flop. Because I might even have folded to an all-in raise by this guy. If this guy, particularly, if he would have raised all-in at that point with, even though I made that big bet, I would have folded because I would have put him on an ace-queen or ace-king or a high pocket pair. And because how patient they've been. And you know, at this point in the tournament, that's kind of, you kind of run in, like, the luckiest player sometimes does, like, not always wins, but it's not that the lucky player wins, right? You have to avoid the bad beat to win. You have to avoid the bad beat to win, but luck does play a variable, right? Like, the second, like, just say I win this tournament, like, the best opponent might have already been defeated. Like, the guy that just got eliminated, right? They were a good opponent, right? Like, so they might have been overall the best poker player out of the remaining 4, but they just got unlucky this time. right? Like they just made some bad. Well, they made a terrible play at the end. It was like they punted the ball, right? It was one thing for his strategy when he had enough chips to call flops when he had a weak hand, but as soon as he called, unless he had a big hand that didn't materialize, but as soon as he called the raise pre-flop when he only had less than 4,000 chips left, right at that point, he should have went all in if he had a strong hand. So he was probably doing what he was doing with just playing any two cards at that point, but he just didn't change his strategy at the very end. You have to constantly try to fluctuate with your strategy to so now fools for cards, right, could be one of the stronger opponents because they've been playing pretty solid. Like this person, they're just sitting out completely. So they're going for like they could be playing for second. If they have so many chips, they could be playing for second, and you just have to keep raising them to beat them. They're likely to play for second, just how many chips they have compared to everybody else. So like now I get a benefit because where I am. So the rich get richer. That's why, right? Because you can speculate more. So I'm gonna call. I was gonna raise if it would have just been the big blind to make a decision, but show the queen. Show them that I'm not bluffing. I'm not messing around. I'm not messing around, guys. How about this move? I feel it coming. I'm feeling it coming. The big move is coming. The big move. Going for the blinds. Going for the blinds. Nice. So I just won 9K. Well, I guess less than that. Really, I only. So I'll just keep the pressure. Nice, nice. So now, since I won, diminished them last hand and won some pot, won some chips, even though I'm probably an underdog in this hand, I'm gonna call because I got enough chips, and I'm gonna call for two reasons to show that, like, if they bet, like, okay, we can't shake them off a hand, and it's a decent hand, five-handed. But I do think I am the underdog, though. Yeah, I'm the underdog. I was hoping to get lucky to eliminate an opponent. It's a nice pot if he wins. Now they're right back in it, right? It would have, if I would have won it, at that point, the tournament would have been over pretty fast. I would have pretty much been able to steamroll the table. I would have had like 70,000 chips to like under 20 or around 20. So that means one raise, like minimum raise pre-flop or on the flop, is a lot of their chips. So maybe the guy sitting out won't finish second after all because the blinds are going pretty fast.
Hey, Christian.
How's it going?
All right. Back to my work here.
Back to the grind. So hopefully they fold it down. Oh, they came back. They came back. Nice. I was hoping to be able to steal their blinds again, but I'm glad they're back, because now they might get eliminated faster. Because now they're playing, right? So when they're sitting out there, an opportunity to, like, see, if this guy wins here, now the guy is a very short stack, but he probably has a decent hand. It's pretty much the first hand they played final table. Might play two hands. I do want to be stealing the blinds, but I can't be too predictable. Would have been different if I would have won that pot there when I knew it was the underdog with the king 10. I would have been able to just constantly raise that, like, pretty much for the rest of the tournament. Almost every hand I would have raised. Minimum pressure. It wasn't maximum pressure, it was minimum pressure. Minimum pressure. Did I improve? I think I won, but I'm just going to check it down. I didn't want to get greedy because at first I was going to just jam because when the 8 was there, when I seen the second 8, I was going to go all in at that point, but or on the flop, pardon me. But then I realized it would have left me really short stack, so I didn't want to risk it at that point. Just pretty much go for first or finish fifth. I want to make that play. Had a gut shot, so it wasn't with it.
Help you make those doors stronger.
Yeah, it should help out, eh?
This cable gun, yeah.
Nice action. Call out. Oh, come on, fools. Make this a community pot without me. Call. Eight queen. You got lucky though so far. Is he gonna spike the 10? Is he gonna spike the 10 or the ace? Another queen. So that guy's pretty much decimated now. Time to get big blind. Or no, he's not big blind. He's under the gun. So they do get to see a hand, or they gonna front. Nice. They didn't just go all in. They didn't punt. They gave themselves hope for the next hand. So good luck. Short stack next hand. Unless it's against me. Andy Cheap Man won.
That's cool. Instead of gluing it together, I can staple it back together.
Yeah.
So that armoire we brought up, someone's already fixed it before. Like the drawers.
Oh, okay.
Like they'll just fall apart on me if I use them the way they work.
You did get lucky against Andy Cheap Man 1. Wow. Another readout, get it? They just need to win one more hand. If they could double up this hand right here, then this guy should raise. He has so many chips he should raise. This guy just had the winner previously, so he's unlikely to win 2 hands in a row. But he let him see the flop. He let him see too many cards. Raise my blinds again. This guy's kind of due for a loss right now. They won a couple hands in a row. So they're kind of due. Not entirely out of the question by math, but He's unlikely. Unlikely you're gonna have the best hand 3 times in a row. If you bluff or whatever, he stole my blinds, probably, right? So he probably bluffed that hand. I just didn't have enough. I had such a terrible hand. I couldn't defend myself. But they let everybody see the river, so now somebody's going to be disappointed. And he won again, nice. I'm going to go for it here. Try to win pre-flop. I probably have the best hand, right? So nice. Hopefully I get lucky. Oh yeah, he's 10. He's 10. No, he has 3 aces until there, so now he has 4 8s. And he hit these. A little disappointed. He had 7 outs on after the turn, and they always hit. They always hit. Anyways, so that was that tournament. So it brought me up a little bit there to started it with 5,500 today, so that's all right. Take the bonus here. So if you like the video, share, make a comment, say what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and basically, if there's a certain time, like if you seen something in the hand or seen a particular hand that you had a question about, you could just reference the time, and then I could watch a couple minutes beforehand. But if you're like, hey, yeah, Jack 7 and you did this, and it's like, well, I just played for an hour and 44 minutes, right? So I'm not gonna remember exactly that. But if you say, oh, at 8 minutes and 52 seconds you had this and you did that, could you explain it or whatever, then at that point I could watch a couple minutes beforehand and watch that sequence and then see what I was thinking, because I do try to play randomly as well, so it makes it hard for me to I might play it differently if I had the same scenario right away, like I'd play it differently. Sometimes when I watch my videos, I even fool myself because my randomness.